What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we're back with another Arc Insight. And today, guys, it's the day. We're finally pitting the Rex against the Shadowmane. So if you guys have seen, we've done it with the Aloe and the Thylacoleo, and both of those got shit on literally by the Shadowmane. They got crapped on. So guys, we thought we'd bring the big boy in himself to see just how he fares against the Shadowmanes himself. So guys, if you're unaware of how these Arc Insights work, essentially what we do is we compare their stats at level 1, which is their base stats. We then run them through a gauntlet of tests such as speed, swim speed, stamina usage, and then a battle to the death. So without further ado, let's get into it and take a look at their stats. Now, the Shadowmane does have weaker stats than the Rex, which is honestly to be expected. So 825 health on the Shadowmane, 450 stamina, 425 weight, and then the 125.8 melee damage percent. Let's come over into the Rex here, and you'll see 1100 health, 420 stamina, 500 weight, 125.8 melee damage. So the Rex does have higher health, however its stamina is lower and its stamina usage is actually higher than the Shadowmane. How do I know this? Because I've worked with Rexes for a very long time, so I know how their stamina works. But without further ado, let's go over their abilities. And once again, guys, you probably have heard all of the Shadowmane's abilities by now. So let's go over them real quick. It's got natural armor built into it, so it doesn't need a saddle. It has a teleport strike, which you can use to hone in on enemy dinos. It has a jump, teleport strike, pretty much a charge jump, I guess you would say. It can go invisible. The female variant is able to make other dinos around it invisible if there is a mate nearby. And the male Shadowmane is able to buff nearby dinos if it is mate boosted as well. And they can both go invisible as well. As well as that, the Shadowmane does have Thornmail armor and it has a bonus attack. Whereas when it attacks stuff, it builds up a bar along the bottom there. When that bar reaches its full potential, you are able to do a charge attack, and that charge attack does deal bonus damage. And if you are successful at killing whatever it is that you are attacking, you will be able to refresh this ability and use it again. So that, off the top of my head, I'm 90% sure, 99% sure that that is all the Shadowmane's abilities. Let's go over the Rex. He can bite. He's a chomp daddy. That is it. He does have a roar ability, which is supposed to make other dinos shit themselves, but I swear to God, it has never actually worked. He's supposed to make like smaller dinos like dodos and raptors and enemy players as well literally crap themselves. But I have never once in all my years ever seen it work. So yeah, but you can see here the base damage of the Rex is actually 89, so it is a lot higher than the Shadowmanes. The Shadowmanes, it was started at 44 and went all the way up to 60. So I'm actually super intrigued as to how the battle to the death is going to go for these guys. I think the Shadowmane may have finally reached its match, which is honestly something that I'm hoping for, because the Shadowmane has just demolished everything in its path so far. It's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. So we'll do the speed test on them and the stamina test, but you guys have probably already seen the Shadowmanes, so we'll only do it quickly. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure the speed test between these two gates is 5.7, and then the Rex's is unknown at this stage because we haven't actually tested him yet. So let's jump on the Shadowmane, and its stamina usage is ridiculous as well. So we're going to go right now. And like I said, you guys have seen us do this test before on the Shadowmane. It's about 5.5 seconds. About that. 5.5, 6 seconds. So, and its stamina usage is ridiculous. If you guys want to know its exact amount, check the Aloe video, the Arc Insight Aloe versus Shadowmane. That'll actually give you the amount of stamina usage it gets over that time. Okay, so now for the Rex, I'm just going to wait for the little army of dinos to go through so that I can go ahead unpede it across to the other side. Actually, you know what, we're going to do it from this side because Rexy boy don't fit through the dino gates. But you can see there, just from running from one side of the gates to the other, we're already half stamina. So we're going to be doing the Rex's stamina and the speed here together in one. So let's take a look. Alrighty. You know, for once, I just wish stuff wouldn't get in the way. Alrighty, guys, and here we go for the speed test. We're away. So, yeah, you can already see that the Rex is slower than the Shadowmane. It does have a larger gate, but, like, it's still slower. So it took us about 8.5 seconds, 9 seconds. We're going to keep running here. Okay, so about 10 seconds worth of stamina as well. So the Shadowmane craps all over the Rex in terms of stamina and speed. Which is to be expected. You know, the speed of the Shadowmane is going to be significantly better than the Rex's due to its size. But at least you guys know now. So there's that. The Shadowmane, it also has a hydration buff ability, which I always forget about. So when you take it near some water, it'll receive bonus movement speed, health regeneration, and damage. So one test that we haven't actually done, guys, which I keep forgetting, is the resource gathering test. So what we're going to do here is we're going to spawn in a Parasaur. Actually, no, we'll go with a Stego. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to use the Rex and the Shadowmane individually to see who gathers more of each resource. So, we've got 2 Stegos here. We're going to kill this one first. I thank you for your cause. We'll use the Shadowmane first. Make sure its inventory is clear so we can actually gauge just how much. And let's get it over here, and we're going to see just how much we can gather from one Stego with both of these creatures. Now, our rates are increased to, I believe, 5 times. So, sorry. Yeah, 5 times is the rates. So, divide this by 5, and that will be your total amount of resources that they are able to gather. Okay. So, we've successfully killed both Stegos. Let's jump over here, and we'll take a look at who's gotten more. If we come into the Rex's inventory, we got 14 pieces of prime meat, 230 hide. Less hide in the Shadowmane, less meat, and less prime meat. Actually, I think the same amount of raw meat. No. So the Rex is the better gatherer, mainly because it would be due to its base melee damage being higher, which would enable it to gather more resources than the Shadowmane. Now, as for the Rex swim speed, you guys can imagine just how slow this poor sucker is. He doesn't really have too much move speed in the water. We're going to have to bring him out over into this pond because he's too big for the other pond where we normally take him. But here you go. Here you can see he's definitely very slow. Shadowmane's obviously going to crap all over him because the Shadowmane's built to be near water, and it's literally called Lionfish Lion. So you can expect how that to go. And yeah, the Rex isn't designed for swimming. Obviously, you want to use this guy on land as much as possible. Nevertheless, here is the Shadowmane swim speed for those of you that have not seen it yet. As you can see, it zips around in the water super fast. So it's definitely going to outswim any land-based dino. You know who it actually might lose to? The Doedicurus. If you guys have never seen a Doedicurus in the water, it freaking flies. It's nuts. You're faster in the water than on land with a Doedicurus. Nonetheless, getting slightly sidetracked here. Now is the time that we're going to pit them in a battle to the death. Now, one thing that I've tried doing is I have tried spawning in Rex saddles, saddles in general, that have been super low, but unfortunately we can't get anything lower than the 25 armor. That automatically comes from the base saddle. So I've been trying to get lower level saddles in so we could actually test them so that they're on par with the Shadowmane's armor. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do it. But as for the Rex saddle, in order to make it, you need to be level 74, 200 fiber, 380 hide, and 50 metal ingots. It also does have access to a tech saddle as well. So guys, now that that's all covered, we're going to get into a fight to the death between these two. We're going to be doing 3 battles here today, because I'm not entirely sure how it's going to fare against the Shadowmane with a saddle. So we're going to do 1 battle with the Rex, 1 battle with the Rex with the saddle, and then 1 battle with a variant Rex. So the R-Rex, yeah, the Volcanic Rex, essentially. So we're going to get this prepped, and I'll bring you guys back when it's all done. Alrighty, guys, they are all prepped for battle. We're going to get this first one underway, and we're going to see who the winner is. Now, I think the Rex will win this fight. Main reason being because it has the saddle on. It does have the high HP. If the Shadowmane is able to get its charge attack off, it could potentially win. The Thornmail is also doing a lot of damage to the Rex, but you can see here the Shadowmane is getting rather bloody, but so is the Rex. This is going to be a really close battle. Okay, there we go. So the Rex is the winner. He came very close to actually losing that. 160 health. And I've just noticed as well that the Thornmail poison actually lowers the melee damage of the creature that it hits. If you guys noticed, I'll try and freeze frame it for you, but we hit H just as it was running out, and it actually said that the melee damage and they take health damage is active. So I'm going to freeze frame for you guys. I didn't actually know the Thornmail reduced melee damage, but it now makes sense why the Rexes and the dinos that we've been pitting up against the Shadowmane actually deal less damage. So now that we have tested this big boy with a saddle on, let's see how he fares without the saddle. Now, after seeing that, I thought the Rex was going to come out a little bit stronger, to be honest. I didn't realize it was going to come out with such low health, which makes me believe that this time around, the actual Shadowmane will win this fight. So let's gear it up and see how this goes. But my money is honestly on the Shadowmane, purely because of the melee damage reduction, and we didn't see that one use its charged attack either, so that was rather interesting as well. But we've got these guys ready to go. Can I get in the air, please? Here we go. Let's activate players only, and they should automatically duke it out with each other. Now, the Rex does get a roar in, but the cool thing about that is it actually doesn't start attacking till after the roar is done, which is good. But you can see here that the Rex's melee damage has just been drastically reduced. And that is gain. The Shadowmane comes out on top with a rather large health pool still left. It's about the same as what the Rex was. Actually, it's about 70 health more than what the Rex actually had. So that's super interesting. So a saddled Rex beats it, but it does get the 25 armor. Man, this guy is intense. Honestly, if you had told me that a Shadowmane would beat a Rex before launch, I wouldn't have believed you. Hands down. Did I give you infinite stats? Yes. You're back to normal. Okay. We're going to try the not the Rockwell, sorry. We're going to try the R-Rex. So that is the one that is found on Genesis. On Genesis Part 1. So let's see how this guy goes. Now, these guys have higher melee damage, but less health. So our normal Rex had 1100 health. And this guy will hit slightly harder. He has the same melee damage percentage, but yeah, now we're going to do it without the saddle and see if that makes any difference. But I'll bring you guys back when they're ready to go. Righty, guys, here we go. Oh. Shadowmane's managed to get a couple of hits in already, so we can already guess who's going to win this fight. But even with... Oh, there we go. He's definitely done for. The Shadowmane's managed to get his charged attack off. There's no way this Rex pulls it off. Yeah, he just got absolutely demolished. Absolutely demolished by this guy, which kind of sucks, to be honest. But, I mean, there you have it. The Shadowmanes are just super, super strong. And honestly, I really hope they don't get a nerf, because I love these guys. And I think I can speak for the rest of the ARK community when I say that they really enjoy these guys as well. But, whew. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be able to beat the Rexes so easily. Wasn't expecting it to beat the Rexes so easily. Plus, the really good thing about the Shadowmanes is when you get the high level ones, so like if you get like a 150, for example, their armor is in the hundreds. You're looking at 124.8 armor, which if you don't have a blueprint for a Rex, you're pretty screwed. And I can tell you right, you know what, let's actually do this. This is going to be a little bit on the edge of a little bit unfair due to the fact that we don't have control over their stats. So their stats could be distributed however, and we don't really have a say of it. But what we're going to do, take a look here, 6k health, 300 melee damage. We're going to spawn in a max level Rex as well, a 150. And we're going to see who wins this matchup. Now, I can already tell you oh, that's a 75, that's why. I was going to say, I can already tell you that the Shadowmane's going to win with that much health. Oh, God. Okay. So let's take a look here. 9,000 health, 284 melee damage. So what we're going to do, let's get these guys into a fight against each other. And we're going to see who comes out on top. Now, this makes it hard. We're going to give the Rex a saddle. The Shadowmane has the natural 124.8 armor, so I feel like it's only fair that we give the Rex a semi-fighting chance, you know? Like, we just need to get a saddle in that it can actually hold up against a Shadowmane. We've got 108. We'll go a couple more of these and see how we go. Okay, we're going to give him this 129 armored saddle. That's the closest one that we got. And we're going to see how these guys go duking it out. My money is still on the Shadowmane because one attack from the one of the charged attacks from the Shadowmane will be enough to kill the Rex. Well, no, it won't be enough to kill the Rex, but it'll definitely put it ahead of the Rex. But at the same time, the Rex does have an extra 3,000 health. So maybe it'll offset it. Let's see how this goes. Let's get the fighting underway. I genuinely have no idea which way this is going to go. I don't have Helena, so I can't scan them, but we just saw the Shadowmane get a charged attack off. 230 damage. The Rex is only hitting for 20 damage, and it's going lower because of the amount of Thornmail damage that it's actually taking, which is nuts. So there's another charge attack going off, so I definitely think that the Shadowmane might have this in the bag. It's hitting a lot harder. That Thornmail poison really reduces the Rex's damage. Man, this is intense. I still feel like the Shadowmane's going to beat this Rex. Even with that armor. That poison is ridiculous. Oh my god. That, if anything that they'll nerf, I think that will be what they nerf. That Thornmail poison melee damage reduction. Just look at the difference. The fight's gone on so long that the Rex has got to do another roar. The Shadowmane is not looking bloody whatsoever, whereas the Rex is looking pretty heavily bloody. We can see some blood spatters here and there. I think I'm starting to see some blood splatters on the Shadowmane. Oh no, did that... That might have skewed things up. Hold on, let's just take a quick little look here. Nope, never mind. I just wanted to make sure that the corpse consumption didn't actually heal anyone. But it doesn't look like it. The health should remain the same. I don't think it's going to make a difference. But let's keep this going. I just wanted to ensure that the health didn't get regenerated from consuming the corpse. Rex is going for another roar. Even if he didn't do these two extra roars, I don't think that really would have made too much of a difference. Here we go. This is better sight. We can actually see their blood. The Rex is significantly more bloody than the Shadowmane. There's another charge attack coming up. Yeah. I think that's GG for the Rex, to be honest. In terms of just pure sustained damage, the Shadowmane takes the cake because of that charge attack. It just makes it so much more powerful. But, I mean, they're both getting pretty bloody at the moment, so this could go any way. Like I said, the Rex did have an extra 3k health. He does also have an extra 5 armor on his saddle. No, never mind. The Shadowmane is the winner. Let's take a look here. 1400 health. Man. All right. These Shadowmanes, they are very strong. So there you have it, guys. That is the Shadowmane versus the Rex. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about it. I was expecting the Rex to deal a lot more damage. But turns out the Shadowmane is just super good and super strong. So guys, that's going to wrap the video up for today. Let me know if you want to see any more Arc Insights. But other than that, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.